Facebook today is seen as difficult and at times hard. So I wanted to bust that myth and understand how we can be using Facebook for free without the ad spend and still get the most out of it. Today, I have the great pleasure of speaking with Chantal Gerardy, an award-winning Facebook strategist, to understand how to tame the beast.
You're listening to the Plan to Profit podcast with Carol Lange, the show that brings you bite-sized business tips for individuals looking to start a profitable business. Starting my career as an accountant, moving through to business ownership, and now mentoring, I am privileged to have the experience and knowledge to inspire and nurture those entrepreneurs juggling this glorious thing we call life. Throw away the idea that business needs to be hard. Stay in your zone of genius and let me guide you through the ups and downs of starting your entrepreneurial dream.
Hello, Chantal. Welcome to the Plan to Profit podcast.
Hello.
Awesome. So excited to have you here. Please let us know how you got started on this epic journey.
Like any good entrepreneur, I fell into it out of pure necessity to save my starving family. I taught myself Facebook to save my business. So I originally moved from South Africa to Australia 11 years ago, and my husband at the time got a job transfer. However, in the first 2 years, he lost his job. At that stage, I had 3 kids under 5, so twins that were 4 and my youngest was 1.
Yeah.
And I did what any sort of unemployed person did and played on Facebook. But what I realized was that I could increase my personal branding and business branding, reach out to cold audience and build relationships with people online. And I started a business. And within a couple of years, I had a massively successful business here on the Gold Coast. And then before long, everybody was saying, well, how the hell did you do that? You did not know anyone and you just were a stranger to everybody. How did you do that with no marketing budget? And I said, well, Facebook. So I have been specializing in it for, I think it's almost 4 years now, teaching business owners how they can do it themselves. So without a marketing budget, they can simply do it themselves if they just learn how.
Oh, I love that. Oh, my goodness. Go you. That's awesome. All right, so let's dig into Facebook. Please tell us why Facebook is still relevant today.
Oh, well, today with the coronavirus, I mean, we don't want to hear the C word again, but Facebook use is up by 70% at the moment because of self-isolation. And because people are unemployed. So many business owners who were previously business owners are now at home and they're sitting on Facebook and they're scrolling. So now more than ever, it is important for us to have a strategy to be more visible and to create a desirable offer so that we can get people to stop scrolling and look at what it is that you have to offer and take up your services. So 93% of small business owners choose Facebook as their primary platform because it's fun and it's engaging. However, right now, as I said, the use is up by 70%, so much so that they've had record-breaking days that have increased, that have been higher than New Year's Eve. So your ideal client is on there. You've just got to know how to engage their services.
Wow. That is really epic numbers to even try and consider. You often hear 100%. You often hear that, Facebook, is dead at some point, but clearly that's not the case now.
No, it's not dead at all. And, things may have its ups and downs. And everybody should have a strategy that if Facebook does die, what do you do? So I always do say to people, make sure that you get the email addresses. However, right now it is up and running and I have spent the last 3 weeks helping contact service-based providers take their business online because now with the self-isolation and not being able to serve their customers face-to-face, I've had to help them create a new desirable offer and use Facebook successfully to be able to find new clients. Because there are people out there spending money. We've just got to make sure that the offer is right and that we put it in front of the right people and it's the right package.
I love that. You're speaking my language, girl. This is awesome. So let's talk about attracting, your best and ideal clients. How can we use Facebook to do that?
Well, the good news is that Facebook is a social media platform, meaning that it is social. So no more long-winded, 2,000 word essays. It is social. So we literally just have to talk as we would in a normal conversation. I almost like to compare it to dating, where I say if you meet somebody and they're a stranger and you're trying to get to know them, you're not going to straight away try and take them to fourth base without at least taking them for a coffee and getting to know them better, and just, asking them a little bit about themselves so that it's not just me, but actually taking the time to actually get to know your ideal customer. They are on Facebook. You've just got to understand how to use the platform to attract them, but also to put yourself in front of them.
Oh, I like that. So what should we be doing right now to make use of Facebook?
Good question. So right now, we actually have to relook at who our ideal client is, because that person's changed with all the fears right now, and with money being tight with a lot of people. We actually have to relook at who our audience is. We've got to relook at their pain points, and we've got to relook at the way that we would message to them. People are highly sensitive at the moment, and in the olden days, 3 weeks ago, you may have been able to sort of rub salt in people's wounds, or really throw their pain point into people's faces on social media to get a reaction. Nowadays, we've got to be a little bit more sensitive to that, and we've got to watch our key messaging. We have to be sensitive to how people are feeling now with the coronavirus. And then we've got to relook at our offer, because our desirable offer might have changed now. Is the ideal client now who's changed, is that offer still relevant? And we may need to adapt our offer to suit them. And we have to consider as well how we're actually going to deliver that to them. Also, is the pricing right? Because if it's not face-to-face and it is online, is the customer still going to be happy to pay that right now?
Yes, very much so. Wow. Talk about wrapping that up very quickly. That's a lovely big red bow for everybody to try and understand. I really like the way you've explained that. Thank you. So what can the audience be doing right now to actually help them?
Well, there's 10 ways that they could be growing their page, because as I spoke about to you earlier about, one part of it is having a professionally set up Facebook page. So having an offer, having a professional page, having good content on there. And once you have all of that, that requires a strategy as well. But once you have all of that, you might be putting all this content out there and doing Facebook Lives, but you may not actually have the right people on your page. So what you need to be doing as part of your ongoing strategy is you need to be growing that Facebook page, helping your business brand be more visible. And for example, that's exactly how we met. We met on Facebook. That was an opportunity that was created through Facebook, because now I'm in front of your audience and you're going to be in front of my audience. So these are the types of opportunities that people need to be continually incorporating as part of their strategy. Content is only one part. Having a professional page and your offer and your business is only one part. The other part is growing your visibility, growing your audience, and getting your name and your business and your branding out there more, so that people can trust you. So increase your social proof, increase your credibility, and to show your expertise as well. So I've got 10 things that people could be doing right now, but you want to make sure that at least once a week you're going onto your Facebook page, and down the right-hand side, you want to invite people to like your page. So we take that for granted, but down the right-hand side, you can invite people to like your page. These are the people that are on your personal profile. Number 2 is that when you create content and people like, comment, or share, their name actually comes up. So if you actually click on that, their names can come up. And if they haven't liked your page, you can actually click on there and send them an invite to like your page. Because if they're engaging in your comments, chances are they actually like what it is that you're sharing with them right now. So number 3 is that you also need to show interest in your prospective clients. So whoever your client avatar is, whoever they are, wherever they hang out, you need to be hanging out in the same places on Facebook. You need to be engaging and showing interest in them. Else you're going to end up being that date who just goes me the whole time, talks about themselves, and never actually shows interest in the ideal clients. So we want to make sure that we go and engage in your prospective clients on Facebook. Number 4 is collaboration. So, for example, this is a collaboration. Right now we're collaborating. So you want to collaborate with people who have your ideal clients, but not necessarily, but you're not in competition with them, so that you can support one another and leverage it off each other's audience. And then, of course, send them back to your Facebook page. So I would imagine at the bottom of your podcast, bottom of my podcast, we'll be sending people to each other's pages. So again, that's part of our strategy to grow our page with the right relevant people.
Yeah.
Number 5 is referral partners. So again, people that you're not in competition with, but people who have your ideal clients, asking whether or not you can share content on their pages. So I could share on your page, you could share on my page, I could do a live with you, you could do a live with me, and send them back to your page to grow your page. So number 6 is you've always got to have tips and pitches ready to go, so that if somebody on Facebook is saying, hey, I'm looking for a relationship coach, you can say, hey, this is who I am. I'm a relationship coach. Here is my page. Jump on. So you need to have pitches and tips ready to go. And handy tip, I save them in my notes on my iPhone, because that way they're on my laptop as well.
Yeah.
Number 7 is newsletters. So you want to make sure that you're sending out to your database as well. You can also capturing people's email addresses just in case Facebook does go down. You still have the email address, and you can still nurture those people off of Facebook in your database, and even ask them to share that content with other people, and of course send them back to your Facebook page. Number 8 is call to action. So at the bottom of your post, don't forget to invite people to engage, or invite people to take you up on your offer, or to book a call, or to inquire more. Often we forget that call to action at the bottom, but that call to action is really important. Number 9 is using groups strategically. So finding groups that have your ideal customers in there, and with the right etiquette and with respect to the administrator and founder of the group, share your content or your expertise in that group. And number 10 is making sure that you continue to create and nurture your cheerleaders online. So online, there are people out there who already know, like, and trust you. And sometimes we forget about them, and we're just so interested in the strangers, and reaching a wider audience, that we don't focus on looking after the people who already know, like, and trust you, and asking them to support you, and asking to share, and asking them to get involved in your online competitions and to support your business. Because although they may not never buy from you, they're always going to support you, refer you, and tag you online. So these are things that need to be happening on an ongoing basis. And I haven't even started about what that means to actually set up your professional page or create the content. But maybe that's another podcast.
Absolutely. Wow, you have just surmised that beautifully. Normally, as I said to you previously, I always ask, what can the audience take away? I think there are lots of takeaways there, especially with those 10 points, So if everybody goes through and actually, re-listens to the podcast and starts with number 1 and just works their way through.
100%. Yeah. And the good news is that we've put this all together. So if somebody jumps onto my website, they can literally subscribe, and they will get all those takeaway tips will come automatically to them. So we've set that up. We've made it really easy for business owners to be able to access that information.
Gorgeous. I'll also put a link on the show notes page for today. And with that in mind, how can people find you and locate you?
Yeah, excellent. Well, firstly, they've got to be able to spell my name. So Chantal Gerardy. So Chantal, and Gerardy is Gerardy. So www.chantalgerardy.com.au.
Beautiful. So we'll have all those links and the links to the 10 downloadable points as well on the show notes. Thank you so much for joining me today and busting some serious myths around Facebook doesn't need to be hard and Facebook is still well and truly alive.
100%. We had a business coach we worked with this week, 10-day strategy we had. 10-day strategy, we got 53 new email addresses onto a webinar, and from there they made $8,000.
Wow, that is sensational.
In 10 days, and that's buying. In this time. Yep, they're buying. They're just buying the right thing. The right thing, yeah.
I love that. Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Chantal, for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Gorgeous. Thank you, everybody. And remember, your smallest actions will create your greatest reality. Until next time, everyone.
Thank you for joining me on the Plan to Profit podcast. Did you love today's episode? make sure to visit the website for all the show notes, downloads, and to subscribe to the show. If you found value in this episode, please head on over to iTunes and leave me a 5-star review. This helps others just like you find the answers that they could just be looking for.